Welcome everyone to our weekly sales call. We do this every Monday at 12 o'clock. I want to welcome everyone to the call today. We have an amazing guest that we're going to be interviewing today. Before I bring him on and give him the proper introduction, I want to go through the numbers for the week. We're going to go through our submit numbers first for the week. We're going to list the top 20. So for the week, we had 109 writers. We submitted a total life volume of $378,974 and annuity volume of $839,823. So there's 109 writers that submitted that business for the week. So in 20th spot, we had Allison Liston, 6631, Yola, 6808. We had Scotty Simmons, 6948, Andre Brooks, 7137. We had Gary Nesselrode, 7649, Jacob Tower, 8052. David Ramirez, 8073. We had Amaka Anderson, 8844. Myself, 9178. We have our guest we're going to have on today, Mr. Eugene Marshall, submitted 9306. Great job, Eugene. We have Will Crandell, 9645. Josh Chris, 11,182. Bradley Murphy, 11,759. We had Ryan Phelps, 12,026. Kali Somerville, 12,253. Ron McCormick, 12,444. Corinne Giles, 19,676. We had Kelly Young Stonework, 20,000. We had Kristen Solis at 27,531. We had Linda Lampasso in first place, submitted a total of $33,056. Great job, Linda. We're going to go through the top teams for the week. We're only going to start reading submit for the teams that submit over $25,000 for the week. So we have We the People, 32,554. Team Unity, 32,654. We had FFL Trust, 33,647. We had High Voltage at $35,093. Stephen Johnson. Steve, we're waiting for your logo and your team name, man. You definitely earned it, buddy. But we had Stephen Johnson team, 35,486. Honor and Valor, 37,200. Pursuit of Happiness, 58,196. Peak Finance, 60,598. We had FFL Dream Team at 83,145. We have FFL Fury at 120,175. We have FFL Entourage, 207,793. FFL Allegiance, 227,719. And total for FFL National submit for the week, $462,995. So that was our submit for the week. Let's go through our issue paid for week 3 of May. For any of you guys that are new to the company, you know, our submit numbers were always a week behind. Our weeks run from Friday to Thursday. So the last Thursday of every month is the end of the month. So technically we finished out May, but we won't know the final results until Wednesday or Thursday of this week when week 4 issue paid numbers come out. So let's go ahead. Total for week 3, we had 207 writers. We're going to go through the top 20 issue paid numbers. $16,016.28. That's for Nick Leonard. We had Jasmine Spalding, 16,703. We had Pooja Puri Khan, 17,135. We had Catherine Galuli, 17,631. Corinne Giles, 17,634. Myself, 18,153. Thaddeus Scruggs, 18,845. Will Crandell, 19,051. Scotty Simmons, 19,937. Austin Smith, 20,396. Ryan Urbanski, 21,433. Richard Moore, $22,060. Leslie Andrews, 22,195. Francisco Makata, 22,701. We have Eugene Marshall, almost in that top 5 spot. Number 6, Eugene, 22,770. We have Daniel D at 26,415. Allison Cuskin at 31,811. Kristen Solis Romero in second place, 44,721. And Ronald McCormick in first place, $58,948. And remember, we still have a week to report, so great job, Ron McCormick. Teams, issue paid. We're only reading now 50,000 plus will be announced on the higher level call each week. So we have in last place, Team Unity, 70,547. Stephen Johnson, 82,000. 206. FFL Trust, 96,223. Peak Finance, 106,690. FFL Honor and Valor, 120,787. We the People, 141,578. Dream Team, 157,82. FFL Pursuit of Happiness, 169,731. Team FFL Fury, 248,855. FFL Allegiance at 477,430. FFL Entourage at 489,404. And total issue paid for FFL National, $1,157,637. And that again is through week 3 of May. I forgot to mention this at the beginning. If you could please take some time to go on to all the social media for FFL National, and please subscribe or go in and like any posts or anything that we have on any of our social media groups. And then when this is posted up, if you could please like and share this post and make any comments, we would greatly appreciate it. So we have an amazing guest on today that is part of Steven Johnson's group, which Steve should have a team name right now and a logo because he's definitely qualified for it. He's right now in a sales manager position. His team's done over $100,000 a month. So Steve Johnson's group has qualified for a logo and for a name. And our guest today was hired by Steve Johnson, Mr. Eugene Marshall. Man. Frank's already given the claps. We haven't even given out what he's done yet, man. Frank's already excited. I tell you what, Eugene Marshall last month, it was April, his first full month with the company, he was over $20,000 issue paid. Now that's a clap. There we go. There we go. That's it. And then this month is his second month in the business, and he's over 22,000. He's at 22,770. Thanks for giving it to him. Yeah, man, it's exciting. So, I had a couple minutes. I've talked to Eugene a few times, and I tell you what, when you hear his story, it's amazing. He really is someone who's going to take away all the excuses from everyone. And when you hear this man speak, he's very humble in what he says and what he's looking for in terms of going out and just helping families, helping his family. It's just very refreshing talking to someone like this and realizing and understanding what exactly he's trying to do. So, Eugene Marshall, if you could please, man, if you could just kind of let everyone know who you are, a little bit of your story, how you ended up at FFL, and how all of a sudden, your first 30 days in a month, you do over 20,000. This is your second full month, you do 20,000 again, and you're part-time. It's impressive. So you can just come on and kind of give everyone a little bit about your story and what you're doing and kind of what your goals are and how you're doing what you're doing. And I'll ask you some questions at the end. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Mike. First of all, I want to give all the glory to God, because without him, none of this would be here. Second of all, I just want to give a shout out to definitely the FFL on the whole, and just, the structure you have in Andre Burke and Steve Johnson for giving me this opportunity. A little bit about myself. So I'm a full-time accountant at Deloitte. So, I've been there for a few years now, make over 6 figures there. I'm also part-time in the military. So I do National Guard over the weekend. Got 3 kids and a fiance.
What's amazing is most people would take any one of those things, and for most people, I assume that's your why. That's why you do what you do. Your fiance, 3 children. You're a hardworking person. A lot of people will use that what they would call their why and make it their excuse, but you're doing the opposite. It is truly your why, and obviously the reason you have 3 jobs and doing what you're doing. So I apologize. I just wanted to point that out. It's amazing.
No problem at all. I just think hard work is everything. And then I was told at a young age, it's like, you got to work hard. Mm-hmm. It's a story that my father told me when I was young. He was like, work now and play later. And then I never lost track of that. Right now, I just plan on working as hard as I can so I can just play later.
When you first came into the company and you knew you had a full-time job, you're part-time with the military, what did you immediately see in FFL in terms of a schedule? What did you start? How were you able to set this up to where you could fit this into your already busy schedule? What did you start doing schedule-wise?
Yeah, so when I first started off, it came back to Steve Johnson. He just told me, you want to at least have 1 to 2 days and you can just really run. He was like, really don't break it up. Don't try to just run on, after work, things like that. He was like, set a day aside, try to do, 6 to 8 appointments a day. So when I first started, I started off doing the weekend. And then really, after that first commission check, things just kind of changed for me. Mm-hmm. I just seeing how easy it was, how helpful what I was doing to my community, and how quick I can help my family. And so what I decided to do is find time to do it again.
So you made time for the business, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, they'll come in here and they have every excuse in the world and they don't have the time, but it sounds like you saw what was possible and you made time.
Absolutely. I mean, I think like that in life. We make time for what we want.
That is true.
And the opportunity here is something I want and something I'm going to get. So I make time for it.
I love it. Lead wise, when you first came in, what did you start buying for leads?
When I first started with just CRM leads, between 3 months, 1 month, and instant. And then over time, probably the last 3 weeks, maybe a month now, I started dropping some power mailers just a little bit more into the mortgage protection. And when I first started, again, the leadership with Andre Burke and Steve Johnson was just, hey, focus on life right now. Internet life, the final expense.
Mm-hmm.
And then over time, we just went into mortgage protection after it.
Got it. I say it all the time. The easiest way to get a new agent up and running is with just straight life insurance, final expense. Mortgage protection is definitely a little bit more involved. I always recommend watching. I don't know if you watch any of Frank's training on mortgage protection, but it's a great way to be able to get up fast with mortgage protection. But if you want to get into this business, start having success, definitely using the internet life leads from the CRM, doing what you're doing, and then working final expense is definitely the way to do it. With your when you're working those leads, kind of what did you do for a phone script? We have a lot of new people. They come in here and they're not really sure what to say. They get very tongue-tied on the phone and they're almost afraid to dial the phone. How were you able to overcome that? How were you able to dial the phone? And we'll get a little bit into your phone script.
Yeah. So again, just already when I got there, like I said, Andre Burke and Steve Johnson just had, we had a script, and I just really just followed the script. So I had a script in front of me, made a call, and I just, I ran the script, and it was simple to the point, not too complicated, and the goal was just to schedule appointment time.
And how many hours a week right now are you dedicating to Family First Life?
Say about 25 to 30.
25 to 30 hours a week, over 20,000. That's a number that Sean Mike, the president of the company, he's always preached this number. If you want to make money, you're going to have to do at least over 20,000. And you're doing that on a part-time basis. So for all of you guys that are on this call, again, Eugene is out there. This is his third job. He's doing some military. He's a full-time accountant. And then he is doing this 25 hours a week, and he's putting enough time aside to where he can do over $20,000 issue paid for the month. So you're kind of taking it away from people that aren't, taking excuses away from people that aren't hitting that. I want to go into a little bit about your phone script. Let's go through that because a lot of people struggle with that when they're brand new in the company. Kind of role play with me a little bit. You're buying 3-month-old internet leads. Let me know exactly what you're saying when you're calling these people, how you're booking these appointments.
Sure. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hello, Mike?
Yes.
How you doing, Mike? My name is Eugene. Just getting back to you here from the Benefit Center. There's a reference to a life insurance that requested you. It looked like it was a little while ago, and nobody was able to get in touch with you. And I'm the senior underwriter, got kicked up here to my office. So, Mike, when I actually have me dispatched out in your area tomorrow, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to get this information in your hands. Will be available morning, afternoons, or evening?
Morning.
Morning? Awesome, great. 10 or 11?
11 o'clock.
11, awesome. Again, my name is Eugene Marshall. I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 11.
It's that simple.
Pretty much. I did miss one right there. Typically, after I schedule the time, I'll verify the address. What I found out what works for me is go ahead and set the appointment time first, and then I verify the address later.
Got it.
So then at the appointment time already set. So then the address shouldn't be a problem.
In terms of objections that you get, a person says, I already took care of it. How do you come back with that?
I asked them what they took care of.
I already took care of the insurance.
So I was like, great. Well, then I'll let them know I'm a broker. I work with 17 different companies. And I would ask them, are they open to saving money on what they already have?
Really just make everything real simple.
Yeah. They say no, it's fine. I got a bunch of leads I can call to. It's really, to me, it's not a no for now. It can be a no for now. It doesn't mean a no for later.
Uh-huh.
I just put in my pile. Okay, I call them back in 2 weeks to a month.
Wow. So you talked a little bit earlier about integrity. I know Frank really over the last couple of weeks, we have a lot of calls and we're talking about it in integrity marketing. And you being someone who's coming in part-time, you're doing over 20,000. in order to be able to achieve that, you need to start hiring and building the team. Kind of what are some of your goals right now in terms of building the team? What are you looking to do?
Great, yeah. So right now I'm definitely still talking to family and friends, but I'm actually in the process of hiring a recruiter. And I just feel like that's going to be the fastest and quickest way for me to start doing like a mass hiring because, we only got, a year or so, a little over a year for integrity. Mm-hmm. So I really need to hit the ground running. I mean, there's no time wasted. So I'm in process right now hiring a recruiter.
So here we go. We have someone who is part-time. Again, he's doing over 20,000. He's already talking about hiring and recruiting and then building. It's amazing because everyone that is in this group, we have so many people that are full-time and that aren't issuing $20,000 a month and then don't have staff. And here you are on a part-time basis doing over 20,000 and getting ready to start building and start hiring staff, which is it's very refreshing to be able to meet someone like you and just really see it and get it because the system and the structure that we have in place at FFL, Sean screams about it all the time. If you listen to Sean might talk much, he kind of just screams that this is a simple business. We have the structure, we have the system in place for anyone to do it and anyone to have the kind of success that you're having. Based on what you've seen since you've been here, I mean, is that kind of what you see? You haven't really ran into, I guess, any real stumbling blocks since you came along. Everything's just kind of coming and flowing with you.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I don't know if this is my accounting background, so I just kind of break it down. I mean, if I'm running 3 times a week, if I close an appointment a day, I mean, that's 3 appointments a week. And 4 weeks, that's about 12. So let's just say you get 10 to 12, deals a month, you're gonna land on the $15,000 to $20,000 that you paid. So really, I think it's in the simplicity that, I think some people just don't break it down. If you break it down that way, a deal a day, keep the doctor away. That's kind of what we say.
Deal a day, keep the bill collectors away.
There you go.
Right? Let's get a little bit about your schedule. Exactly, when is it? When are you dialing? When do you start? Let's go through some of that. When are you making your dials? What days are you running? So we have other people that are just coming aboard. How can they follow along your footsteps and do the same thing you're doing? Go through some of that, exactly what your schedule is.
Sure. When I first started, it was mainly just the weekend. So I would dial Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But over time, since I've seen some success, I was like, okay, I want to do this more. And since my full-time job is fully remote now because of COVID, I had to take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. So, down in PG County, we do a dial a day, run a day. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'll dial Monday for Tuesday, dial Wednesday for Thursday, and Friday for Saturday, Sunday for Monday. Okay. So, I mean, I try to book up 6 to 8 appointments a day, and that's in between meetings. So, if I got a meeting, I schedule around it. So some days, I'm out at 8, maybe back in at 8, on run days. Because maybe I got 8 appointments that day, maybe it's 6. Maybe I just got some appointment, other work in between.
So with your full-time job, if you're dialing on Monday, how are you doing both? How are you doing your full-time job and then dialing?
So, and just flexibility. I mean, I make time. I mean, it's tough some days, but in between, I just make time.
Love it. How many leads are you to be able to book the appointments that you need? You said you're booking 8 appointments on a run day. How many leads are you buying each day to be able to do that?
So when I first started, I bought a good amount of leads, but what I do now, I at least have 20 fresh leads every dial day. So between my 20 fresh leads and other leads I did not get to, maybe a few days before, maybe it was called back, maybe, some people didn't answer, I'm able to at least get my 8 appointments a day. So at any time, I've always had 40 to 60 leads I'm calling dial 7 to get 8 appointments.
40 to 60 leads. And they're internet. And you're booking 8?
Pretty much. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's more. I mean, it all depends. I mean, and then if I'm having a dial day and it's not going well, I buy more leads on the spot. I mean, to me, the cure and everything is just buying leads. I mean, I get mad. I don't get ready to get upset. I buy more leads.
I'm laughing because literally everything you said is it's like you've been here for forever, Frank. Everything we say to him, he's like repeating everything that has always been said by Sean. It's funny because we used to think, I know a lot of people thought Sean was crazy when he talked about anyone. You're part-time and doing, I mean, I saw you pay $14,000 on the last week of last month, April. And so I've seen you do it, and you're doing this stuff on a podcast, and it's like every question I ask you, it's almost like you watched the videos for the last couple of years, and it is crazy. What's your current budget right now? Like, what are you spending each week on leads to be able to write what you're writing?
I do anywhere between $500 to $1,000 a week.
So if you came on full time, wouldn't it be safe to say if you just simply doubled what you're doing, then your production your production would more than double, but if you're doing 25,000, can you easily see how if you're working 40, 50 hours a week, you'd easily be at 50,000 plus per week.
Absolutely.
Spending $2,000 a month instead of 1,000, or $2,000 a week instead of 1,000.
Absolutely.
So all the numbers make sense to you. So you have an accounting background, and you're kind of just breaking everything down numbers wise, and you don't seem to have like a lot of emotion. And even when I talked to you, you had a great day. You weren't like overly excited. You were just like, yeah, I did it. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. The numbers are just kind of making sense. And, you're not like overly crazy about it, saying I'm the man, beating yourself on the chest. You're just kind of running through the numbers and following the system, which is very impressive.
It's probably because that day, Mike, I might have had 8 appointments and closed 3. I was hoping to get 6 or 7 that day. If I break the numbers down, like, if I'm doing, $5K off for 3 appointments, I could just imagine I have 8 appointments and sit with 6 and close 6. Mm-hmm. And I just really think about those things. How great not only I'm going to feel, but how many families I really helped that day.
What are some of your goals coming up here in terms of building a team? I mean, what you have any thoughts of opening an office, and how quickly do you want to get your team built? What are some of your plans on that?
I'm trying to build as fast as possible, and that kind of goes back where I'm a recruiter. Because again, it goes back into integrity in the sense of urgency when it comes to that. As far as the office, right now I know we have one in PG. Eventually, I'm either going to end up opening my own or go in with somebody else to the team and just kind of, we need another central location somewhere, which I think, we might have another one in the next few months here, maybe on the other side of, PG County. That way we kind of have both ends covered.
Got it.
Just because I really realized that, my production goes up when I'm in the office, definitely when I'm dialing. Mm-hmm. And for me, what it does, I think it does help that learning curve. Mm-hmm. Because you're hearing other people dial, you're hearing some of their posture and some of their language. So it kind of helps you move quicker, faster. So, I've dialed from home sometimes, but I feel much more efficient in the office. You feel like it would have affected if you wouldn't have had the success you've had, if you would have just kept dialing from home, you think it would have had a negative impact on what you've been doing? Not negative, but I don't think I would have had the impact that I had so far. Yeah, I always felt like when I was working from home, there was always other things that you could do, and I'm very easily distracted. So if my wife needed help with the laundry or something, I'd get up and not work. So I feel you on that. I'm a very hardworking person, but definitely I need to be in an office. I need that structure, and definitely when you're around other people that are doing the same thing, you learn. We have people in the office, and you just start picking up on what things people are saying on the phones. I think it's very, very difficult. Obviously, if you've never done this before, to be able to be at home and train yourself. So definitely going to an office again is a very important part of what we do. Yeah, it helps build accountability, on yourself and for your teammates around you. Definitely you're building a team, anything like that. Just everybody together, collectively working through the same goal. And it's get the saying, but it's like you want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, go together. 100%. It's kind of that approach, and that's the approach that we take down there. We're one family, we're one team. I love it. I saw your post the other day, and I don't know if you watched the podcast Frank and I did on Saturday, but that post that you put on Facebook really is what inspired this whole contest that we have going on right now. When I saw you put that on Facebook, how you said we have, I don't remember, it said something like we have 5 of the top 10 or whatever, and you said this is our team. You having that team spirit, kind of what motivated starting this contest. I was like, that's exciting. It was I love watching how you were proud almost that people in your team were at the top of that list. So I said, I talked to Frank about it. I said, we need to do some type of team contest and throw some money in there and let people build smaller teams and compete and really be proud
about being part of a team and then allowing other people to kind of lead and build other teams so people can compete against each other. It was really exciting when I saw you post it. That's what kind of inspired the whole thing. Did you see?
I did.
When we did that?
I did. And I was like, okay, my name is Ben Minty.
That's it, man. You're definitely being known. Frank and I were talking about you last month. I called Frank and I said, you know, Eugene Marshall. Frank was like, never heard of him. I go, dude, look at the numbers. I said, he's brand new. That's why you don't know about him, but he's at the top of the list. Frank was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden we get into May and you start doing the same thing. And Frank said, you've got to have him come in for a podcast. And I said, you know, I'll reach out to him and talk to him. So definitely, it's for you to be brand new and then come in here and do what you're doing is definitely exciting.
I'm so excited. It's so simple. And I get ecstatic when I even talk to family and friends about it, or how simple this is and how much money you can make, you know, for you and your family and help other families. It's unbelievable. Sometimes it's too unbelievable. But then you see deposits come in your bank account and it's believable again. So you know, it's just an amazing opportunity, and you know, we need to share this with everyone. And that's what I try to do.
I would attribute a lot of your success based off of how you just feel about this job. You know, when I talked to you, you were talking about just helping people and even talking about recruiting. It wasn't like, I'm going to recruit and build a big team so I can make a bunch of money. It was like the feeling that I feel, how quickly I can change my life. I just wanted other people to feel that same thing. It wasn't the money first. It was what you could do for others. And when you talk about going out and it wasn't making sales, you use words like, I go out and I help families. I don't go out and sell people. I help them. And I think that probably has a lot to do with the success that you're having, because when you truly feel that way, I imagine the clients that you're sitting down and meeting with, they can feel the same thing too, that you're truly there to help them and not sell them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that kind of what your thought process is, or how you view this whole thing?
It is. And, you know, I personally believe, I think I'm going in there and I'm trying to educate the client. You know, sometimes it's on, you know, if they have a policy, you know, we're going through that to make sure they understand what they have. And if I can put them in a better position, that's what I'm there to do. You know, and so it's really just find out what they can qualify for and how much they're willing to pay. I mean, and then sometimes you get emotional at times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a call this morning. I was dialing before I came here, and the lady picked up the phone, and you know, her husband just passed. Yeah, and the insurance was for him. So it really touched me. It's like what we do is real, and you know, if you really just take everything else out of the picture and really think about what you're doing for somebody else's family, you know, it just makes sense.
It's a great point. So you're telling me you've already had your first death claim?
No, I haven't had a death. It was a new internet. It was new in life, but she was trying to get insurance for him, but it was too late.
Yeah. And that happens a lot. You know, we come here and obviously the money is great. None of us would give it back. And the longer you do this for, the more you make. But when you start realizing the impact that you truly make on the families you meet with, when you're building a team, and I'm sure Steve feels that way about hiring you and seeing what you're doing, when you start realizing the people's lives that you can truly impact through this business, again, something that's so simple, but not only families we meet with, but when we're building a team and the team members we bring on board and we can start changing their lives. Once you start seeing that, it really does change everything. When it becomes more about the money and it just becomes about helping people and putting other people first, you put the families first that we meet with, that's when things truly, truly change.
The name of this company, you know, is really the name of this company. We put families first. And it was a podcast, I think I was watching, you know, about Dominic Rogers. He was just mentioning how he's more excited about helping agents change their lives or hiring more agents to change their lives because they can then around and go help more people. So he'd rather spend his time recruiting, helping other people that, you know, change their lives, because he knows by them changing their lives, they can go out there and change 10,000 more people's lives. So it's really big when I'm so happy about recruiting, because, you know, what it done for me in my little time here so far, I just imagine what it can do for others.
I'm excited for you, man. This is just the beginning. Obviously, you're only really 2 months into this thing, and I'd love having you as part of the entire FFL national team. We got a lot of great things going on. So any final parting shots that you can give for any new people or anyone that might be out there and is maybe in class or thinking about joining the team?
Don't be afraid to buy more leads. You know, you always have clientele here, so you're always in business.
I appreciate it, man. You have a great day. Everyone, Eugene Marshall, take care. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right, bud.